That gives me so much life.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good.
Sorry for the delay, everyone. Hi, Michelle. Thanks for tuning
Yes.
in.
Hey.
Tanika, she's still
Yeah, I'm fun around. Hey,
yes,
guys.
yes, yes. Thanks for tuning
Yeah.
in.
So
Please
how?
like and share. We have a lot.
Yes, we're coming down to the wire, guys. We're coming down to the wire, but it's good. It's good because we definitely have some new things in store for you all next season. So,
Hey,
excuse me.
Alicia. Hey, Amy. Come
Yes.
on in. Come on in. Grab a seat. Grab a seat. We got a big announcement at the end of the show, so make sure that you stick around. Um, Yeah, especially you, Alicia. Make sure that you stick around till the end. Um, come on in, like and share.
Yes, definitely do that.
Yeah, so we have what two? Is it two shows?
We have the Monday. Yes, I think it's about two that's left.
Two shows. Well, how do you feel about that? What
Um,
are your feelings?
well, first of all, it seems like it went by very fast. It went by extremely fast to me.
Yeah,
And
it's almost. I think we're 4 weeks. Like the first season, we did 16 weeks, right?
yes,
And I said we cut it back to 12.
yeah,
So we're ending kind of like a month earlier
yeah.
before the holidays start. But yeah, come on in to like and share, everybody. Grab a seat. Shanika's gonna get us started. We have Taraji, Ice Cube. I got some questions about relationships.
Yes.
To talk about. Dr. Dre and his wife are back in ex-wife. They're back in the news again.
I was so shocked to see that. I was so shocked. I was, but I wasn't. But we'll get into that. But how was your weekend though? You had a good weekend?
How was my week? Do I remember my weekend? What did I do?
Of course you do.
I worked all day Friday. I mean Saturday until from like 8 o'clock until 8 o'clock at night, and I had to do makeup at the Cavalier Hotel. So I was thinking about when I was driving to the Cavalier Hotel. When I was at the other job, I was counting down the minutes, like to when I was getting off. But even at 8 o'clock at night when I finished, it was like a 12-hour shift. I was still so invigorated. I had so much energy. I was like, this is what you're supposed to be doing. At least half of it.
Right.
So yeah, like that break that I had, that 4-month break doing the other job, has given me so much more love and appreciation for what I do.
Right.
There. Yeah. Make sure that you comment where you are from so that we all know.
Yeah.
And I think Shanika's going to get us kicked off with a topic.
Yes. So
and remember, please engage. So we're going to, after she tells it, if this is your first time, after she reads the topic, she's going to pose a question for everybody, not just me. So we want you to go ahead and type in. I'll put your responses on the screens, and we want to have a good conversation.
Yes, we do. Okay, so basically everyone is kind of not everyone, but people are up in an uproar about Ice Cube speaking to the Trump administration. And, there's been several people who have commented about it and, things like that. And so finally he did an interview with Don Lemon and Chris Cuomo. And so the interview what I'm reading from is the interview that he had with Chris Cuomo. Mm-hmm. So basically, Ice Cube on talking to the Trump administration in reference to his contract with Black America, the Black America Plan, the contract with Black America, the plan. Cube spoke mostly with Chris Cuomo about his contract with Black America, a plan he released earlier this year to address racial inequality. Cube said he has never met Trump and is not trusting either campaign, or either the Trump campaign nor the Biden campaign. Thank you. Mm-hmm. He's going by action. I didn't run. This is what he said. I didn't run to go work with either campaign. Both campaigns contacted me, Cube said. Both campaigns wanted to talk to me about the contract with Black America. One campaign said, we love what you have, but let's really dig into it after the election. And one campaign said, we love what you have. Do you mind talking to us about it? And that's what I did. So I didn't run to nobody. Cube is willing to work with both teams, he said, with whomever will work with him. I'm not playing no more of these political games. We're not part of a team. So I'm going to whoever's in power, and I'm going to speak to them about our problems. Specifically, Cube said, explaining that it was referring to Black Americans. I'm not going in there talking about minorities. I'm not going in there talking about people of color or diversity or none of that stuff. I'm going there for Black Americans, the ones who are descendants of slaves. So my question is this. Do you think this is a good strategy for Ice Cube, or do you think, as Amanda Seales has said, that it is just ego that has one thinking you could go in and use common sense with a nonsensical person and think you're going to win? Also, as Don Lemon said, should he be more concerned with how the community perceives his efforts and be mindful of how, in some instances, things have been twisted when it comes to that particular administration into, an agenda being pushed that's not really being pushed, if you will. That many people will look at Cube like, okay, maybe he is supporting this particular party, and then people get on board with that, and that's really not the case in a sense. So, like, what do y'all think? What do y'all think? Michelle is already.
Michelle, she said that he was used as a pawn. I absolutely agree with that. She said, "Sit down, sir. What a disappointment. Bad move." And now this is what it is. So, and I heard a different story. I heard that he had approached the different parties, and that Biden's camp said that they wanted to talk with him after the fact. Yours sounded a little bit different, but they both basically get the same response from me. I think Biden was absolutely true. I mean, what's the use in him sitting down to talk about the agenda if Biden's not in the power to do anything? Biden's not president yet. The Democrats do not hold the Senate yet. So pretty much it would just be a conversation. So I believe, just like Biden said, it would be a good time for him to meet with Vice President Biden after the election, once we get him in the White House, and then get the plan started. I think when he sits down with Trump, he's going to do exactly what he did. He went ahead and he projected that, I think the headline said, Ice Cube works with the Trump administration or something with the Trump, to imply that he is in cahoots, right, that they're collaborating, that he's a supporter. And he should. That's what he expected.
Right, and that's, to me, that's the point that Don Lemon was really trying to make. Don Lemon was like, you just need to be mindful, of what you're dealing with. Like, even though that may be not the agenda, your agenda may be for the Black community, but it's going to be twisted and turned as if you are trying to, you make moves with this particular party, and that's not the case. But on the flip side of it, so let me just be, kind of in a sense, devil's advocate for a moment, and he was like, I'm just going to sit down with whoever sits down with me. And then, of course, it was renamed to be the Platinum Plan or something like that. Mm-hmm. And, and so I was just like, well, okay, I don't know what it is that he's expecting to get out of it. And I do believe that you do have to start with whoever is in power. Now, whether or not it goes beyond that, whether or not the Trump administration really helps or does anything, I don't know. But I mean, I do believe that not really at your presidential level. You need to start with your community level. And because all those people that you start voting in at that level will go up to your, will be voted in as your senators, as your governors, but you have to start at your basic level, for those people to go in and to have your community at its best.
Right. And Alicia said, nope, and we don't need them. That's my thing. Neither party will give us what we want. Stop trying to get from them what we should take because it's ours anyway. Then she also said, we have to stop asking for permission. That's in a lot of areas of our life. You got to stop asking for permission. Michelle said, he got nothing but bad press. It's the same thing, I think. But I was reading on DMV Social, which is a group that we're both a part of on Facebook. And I don't know if the statistic was correct, but there were like close to like 90-something% of Blacks think that he did the right thing.
Well, I understood. Like, I understood the position that he took.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily.
What about the timing? Is this the timing to do that? I remember last election, when Comey came out with those things, the email fraud, and that threw everything off for Hillary. So now with people torn between Trump saying that now Ice Cube is supporting him, whether that's true or false, this is just like the wrong timing.
Right. Especially I understand the agenda that he was trying to push, but yes, timing is everything, number one. And then when you have so many people watching you, and then when what is in people's minds is your song, your NWA, the persona that NWA, the song, you know what I'm saying? So that's what in people's minds. It's like, how do you go from, to, so how do you, so I just think that, his timing was kind of bad. I do understand the agenda in which what he's trying to do. But, I also think that also on the flip side of it, people do have a lot to say when you're standing on the outside looking in, and what people should do, what people shouldn't do. But I think that this too, if you're not pushing for because he don't live in our community. He doesn't live in our community. He may have the community, from where he's from, he may have have our communities in his best interest, but he doesn't live in our communities. So it's up to the people who live in our communities to make the difference. And if you're not willing to make the difference, if you're not willing to make some noise, if you're not willing to help others, then you don't really have any ground to stand on. If you're not getting out here voting, if you're not making it a priority to do early voting when there's early voting, or even stand out there, 2 and 3 and 4 hours to vote, you don't really have any ground to stand on. So, whether he's right or whether he's wrong, I understand his agenda. Whether the timing was right, whether the timing was wrong, I still understand his agenda. And I just feel like people who can't or won't or not stepping up, but always have something to say or have Twitter fingers and all that kind of stuff, then I think you just need to have a couple of back seats and have a couple of seats, and just don't, because you need to be pushing the agenda. And a lot of people aren't pushing the agenda. A lot of people aren't, it's like, oh, okay, well, I'll save it I'll wait for the next person. I'll wait for the next person. I'll wait for the next person, or, whatever. So that's kind of my thought about it.
Well, time is bad. I mean, Ice Cube, they, like you said, the agenda, the idea, go stand, advocate for your people. Don't do it like 2 weeks before the event, because everybody's not versed and educated on. Right,
and that's funny because he said that. He said it himself.
He did.
Yeah, he said that on the Cuomo show that he's not as educated in the political, just the political realm of things.
Right.
And, but, of course, Roland Martin I didn't read what he had to say, but I'm sure it wasn't good.
No.
It wasn't good.
Not at all. All right. And Michelle said he played himself with bad. Michelle's not feeling this. Michelle is not feeling this. I think it was bad. Yeah. Good intentions, bad timing. Right. And I mean, this president's on his way out, or it's re-election time. Hopefully on his way out. I can say that now. Why go to them with all these proposals? Biden's not even in the White House. He gave a good thing. Right. He was like, after the election, let me get in office first, and then we can talk about what I can actually do, not just hypothetically, but actually sit down and actually map out what we can do.
Right, and I understand their role too. I totally understood him saying that as well. I understood, because I wouldn't want to be, because someone asked him the question at the last town hall or whatever, what, if he doesn't get elected, what will he still be pushing his agenda? And he was basically like, it will be very hard, because, the things that I have to, we have to, what we're up against. So he himself. So, I totally understood the ground or the stance that he was taking by even saying that. Like, I don't want to push or give out broken promises, and then everybody's expecting for me to do this thing, and I didn't get into office, but you're still expecting for me to push my agenda, push your agenda, whatever. So it's just it was not good timing, but I understand it, but
Okay.
yeah. So Justin said
he said the same thing. He said the same thing the Black Caucus sent Trump. Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
So, can we move on?
Yes, we can.
All right. So I want to show you guys a graphic first so that you can read it. I saw this online, and then I told Justin, because sometimes, my spouse would think things are about him, and everything is not about my spouse. But this is a topic that I was intrigued to hear your and our viewers' response and thoughts on. I'm glad Alicia tuned in, because she's a relationship coach, dating coach. So I want to hear what she has to say about it too. So let me get this up here. Okay. I hope you can read it.
Why are you here? Wow.
So me, it says, I love both of y'all for different reasons. Her, what does she have that I don't? Me, she is smart, college educated, makes good money, legit, and she had my kids. Her, why do you need me?
Loyal, and she
me because of the way you touch me, the way you make me feel, our passion and chemistry is unmatched. I love you. What does it say? I'm loyal to you just like I'm loyal to her. Okay, so this is my whole topic. I found that, but this brought up a bigger question. So let me read from my sheet. So when we think of love, true love, romantic love, passionate love, we tend to think of just two people, however it's set up. It's 2020. So however those two people are arranged, male, female, 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 male, male, whichever. Ultimately blocking out the possibility of anyone else entering into the picture. But there's a relationship coach in New York City who says that you can absolutely fall in love with two people at the same time. He says you can contain multitudes. Sometimes someone might bring out the confident, sexy side, and you'll love them for it. A second person might make you feel safe, loved, and deeply connected, and you'll also fall for that person. Suddenly, your brain is cranking out dopamine for both of them because they make you feel special and loved in different ways. That being said, love is a choice. You don't fall in love. Instead, you choose to open your heart and see the beauty, feel, and vulnerability, and allow your guard to drop and your heart to open, and give yourself permission to feel and be in a state of love. Therefore, if you're in love with one person, it is up to you to choose to turn the red light on and turn yourself off to the possibility of being open to letting someone else in. So I want to know, do you think that it's impossible to be in love with two people?
No, I don't.
Let's say everybody. Do you think it's possible to be in love with two people at one time?
And I'm always quick to be like, answer. Maybe I need to wait. I'll wait and let some other folk answer.
What you mean?
Okay, so what did you? Is it Alicia or is it Alicia? How do you pronounce it?
What? She was on me and Paula's show, and I forgot because I asked her, is it Alicia or is it? I want her to write the phonetics out. I think it's Alicia, if I remember correctly. Okay. She wrote about this on her page. I need to check that out.
Yes.
Michelle says she needs to get someone else too, if that works for him.
Listen.
Oh, okay, I get you. Okay.
Yeah, I got that too. I feel like this. I just think the relationship. What relations, Alicia? I feel like this. I feel like you can. I feel like how we saw relationships in the 60s and the 70s and the 40s, 50s, even in like the early 90s. I think that what relationships look like now are going to be, from this point on, are going to look different. I think they're going to start to look different. I think that people are opening up themselves to be in polygamy,
Polyamorous.
yes, polyamorous relationships, or I just think that more and more people are opening up, because you have more people that are what is it, non-binary, and so it opens up doors for those sorts of relationships, because if you're not identifying with either gender, then you may be in a relationship where it's like, okay, I love this person and I love this person, I love this woman and I love this man, and we're gonna make it work, or whatever the case may be. But I do think that it is possible to love two people at the same time, and maybe for different reasons. Like,
okay.
I think.
So I think there's a key word that's missing from a lot of the responses that I'm seeing. I think it definitely is possible to love. It's possible to love more than two people at the same time. But is it possible to be in love? Being in love and loving somebody.
I don't believe in that. So I don't believe in being in love with somebody. I don't believe in that.
So Michelle says he wants an open relationship. Justin says, if you love more than one person at a time, then you need to be single until you make up your mind. Okay. Alicia said, do you love your mom and dad? Maybe the same level, but see, it's a different love. Right, Michelle? Just be truthful. And Kim says, I agree, Shanika.
I don't know. I don't believe, okay, first, let me just say, I don't believe, I keep saying I don't understand being in love with somebody. I feel like you have a love for a person. And I think that it's either you like them or you love them. It's like, and it's like, okay, but I don't know what being in love, what that really means. I don't really.
You're in love with Walter. Could you be in love with someone else like you're in love with Walter?
I would never. I love him, but I don't think I would ever be like, I'm in love with somebody. Like, because I don't understand that. I don't understand what that
means. You don't understand the concept of being in love.
No, right. Like, I don't, like, why is that even?
We need your help.
Why is that even a term? I don't understand.
Okay. She says our hearts are not in a box. Yes.
Right. Which I think allows people to love people differently. It's like when even with friends, it's like you love them differently. You love, I love, like my husband, like when I'm on the phone with my friend, like I have one friend and she's always like, I love you. And I'm like, I love you back. You know what I mean? I say it back. And my husband's always like, who is that? And I'm like, it's always the same person. I love my friend. Like, I love her. I love all my friends. Like, if I consider you.
Don't tell me that, but okay, that's another conversation. Go ahead.
Right. But I care for them. I love them. I love my husband. I love my daughter. I just feel like I love people, but there's there are different reasons why. There's different.
So what's the differentiation between that type love and the love you have for somebody that you choose to be your mate? Are you saying there is no difference with you?
To me, I love, there's certain things that I wouldn't, I'm not sharing my bed with everybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sharing my bed with my friends, but I love my friends. I love them. I'm not necessarily sharing my money. I'm not sharing my finance. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think when you are in a marriage, it's a different type of bond. It's a different type of union. I don't necessarily know if it's a different type of love, but I think it's a different type of relationship or union or bond, or, that you share. And it's like, okay, I love this about you. I love the way that you do this. I love that you do this. Or like, if I'm hanging out with my friend, like, I love that we can go and have a good time. Or I love that we can sit in the car and we could take a 3-hour trip and we don't really have to say anything to each other, but we good, we good. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and then my other friends, like, I love having conversations with you because you bring out the best in me. Or I love, this person, I hope I'm making sense. Like, I know what I'm trying to say, but your face is like not giving me like you.
I'm trying to have a new perspective. Because to me, there is a clear and definitive line between that type love, that agape type love, and this romantic type love. Michelle says that's fine, but in most cases, guys want to have multiple partners. But I know a lot of women too, but wants the women to be loyal to them. That's the issue I have. Okay.
Well, yeah.
As a hairstylist that has many women sitting in my chair, women are the same way.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that there's maybe a different emotion when guys may find out, even if they are cheating, it's still a different emotion that they have if they find out that their girlfriend or wife, whatever, is cheating. I mean, there are still men who take back women who have cheated, and there's women who take back men who have cheated. Mm-hmm. But I think that the emotion attached to it sometimes is different. It's like, I think men, it's like, oh, did you have sex with him? And I just think it's a different type of response, I guess, if you will.
Okay. So I like this interaction between Amy and Alicia. So your mom says, can somebody please define what in love means? Alicia said, in love is infatuation. It's chemical.
Mm-hmm. Like, I just feel like it's a term somebody made up and then people just ran with it.
Really?
I do. Like, what is that? Like, no.
To me, it's a certain level. It's a heightened level of intensity.
Okay, so then let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Because I read a meme. I saw a meme the other day when people were like, when it was a young lady and she was like, if I'm coming out of a relationship, I'm moving on. Like, it's not going to take me, I don't need years, months, and all of this to move on. I'm just moving on and I'm going to be with somebody else or whatever. Do you really think that it takes years or months for you to get over a person? Do you really need that time to like get yourself together? And, just to find yourself before moving on into another relationship? Does it really take all that?
I think it does.
Individual.
Alicia said, Google says being in love generally refers to those intense feelings that take over at the start of a relationship. These include infatuation, happiness, excitement, and nervousness.
So it's temporary.
Being in love?
Yes, that's a temporary feeling to me. An intense feeling. That's a temporary feeling. And then once that dies out, it's like, okay, I love this person. I really enjoy spending this. And I think even it's a deep like. It's like, okay, I can bear to stay in the same place with this person more than a day. I could tolerate this person.
Okay. So I kind of see that in reverse. I see me loving somebody, that agape love. I love everybody. Everybody's great. The trees are green and the sky is blue type stuff. That is just love, the love that we should have for our fellow person. But as the level in a relationship grows and the intensity grows, I can fall in love with somebody. Transparent moment. Nate and Justin. Two different people made me feel two different ways. I currently still love both of them. I am in love with Justin, the person that I married. I'm not in love with Nate anymore. I mean, and that like you said, that could be I think you can fall out of love with somebody. That's whole other conversation. I think you can fall in love with somebody. I think you can fall out of love with somebody and still love that person, but you're not in love with that person.
Okay, so when you say, I think that so when you say that to me, mm-hmm. I feel like, because if you can still say, I love them both, mm-hmm. I wouldn't be like, the intensity of it. It's like, okay, Justin is my husband, and
but I'm in love with. I'm in love with.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that you were in love with him. I would say Justin is your husband, and you have a stronger love, and not necessarily being in love, just a stronger love for him, because this is the person that you have made this union and this bond with. You no longer have this union and this bond with this other person. So it's like the strong feelings, I would do anything for you. We're going to build together. We're going to bond together.
Which is what? Like I said, the strong intensity. It's the intensity.
Yeah, I see. But I just would be like the intensity of it, or the strong feelings of it is gone. Like, I wouldn't associate that with being in love, because I'm just like, what is being like. I understand what love is, but being in love, like I just feel like somebody made that up, and like I said, people ran with it. I don't know.
Be infatuated with someone but not love them.
Yeah,
True.
yes.
Exactly. You sure can.
Yes. Alicia says they ate newly made.
They are newly so.
Wait, they are newly made, so he can still be in love.
And trust me, we both would agree. At times it's hard, but yeah, I think being in love with somebody again, there's a certain level of commitment, and I'm learning there's a certain level of sacrifice, a certain level of saying, regardless of, I'm still there. But that doesn't happen with everybody that I'm just in love with. So a lot of people that I love that I don't deal with anymore. I was about to.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know. For me, I just would never use the term being in love with somebody, like until I fully can understand what that really means for me, and I just can't. So I would never say that, but I would go on to probably say the exact same things that you say, but just not define it as in love. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I just But I don't know if we really even got to the question. I mean, well, him, and then like some of the comments, but I just think it's possible. I do think it's possible to be at different homes, loving two different people, and because the things that people bring out of you, like the things that people, even friends. It's like, okay, like. Even being around certain friends, it's like, okay, I like being around this friend because like I have a ball, we laugh, we cut up, we have a good time, whatever the case may be, and that, I mean, for anybody. So I do think it's possible. Ultimately, the answer, yes, I do.
Okay. All right then. Okay. Bring on your next one, boo.
Okay, so Taraji, and did I actually no, actually let's not talk about that because I don't know if I really had a question associated with
Taraji
it.
Taraji had a lot of stuff going on. It's the same thing that we were talking about last week with Will and Jada about the happiness and depending on somebody else for your happiness.
Yes, I did read that. And okay, okay, we're here now. We'll go ahead and talk about it. So if you know or if you don't know, Taraji P. Henson has broken off with her fiance that she was engaged to for 2 years, and she said that she tried, and that's basically what it says. She said she tried. She said that she mentioned going to relationship counseling, and she felt like they were not on the same page. So I'm not sure if he did not want to go or if he didn't feel like it was necessary to go. He didn't need any relationship therapy or whatever. And so she was just like, I just didn't feel like we were on the same page with that. So I guess my question in a sense is, at what point, like, okay, so they've been engaged for 2 years. Mm-hmm. And at what point do you like, okay, we need to go to therapy. We need to go to therapy. We need some therapy and we need to, and then we go or we don't go because you decide maybe you don't want to go and you're just like, that's it. Like, that's the deal breaker for me. Do you think that therapy before getting married is important?
I think therapy before you get married, I think therapy going by yourself, going as a couple is very important. I know in her, because I watched most of the video in which she was saying, she presented to him, she tried, but she was overall saying that, when it comes down to therapy, number one, in our community, the Black community, it's still taboo. And then still more women are more apt to seek therapy than men. Right. So when we presented the idea to him to go to relationship counseling, evidently he wasn't on the same page.
Right. So
he felt that it wasn't fair to her to carry the burden of trying to make this relationship work when he wasn't doing his part.
That's my question right there. That was the question. Yes. Do you? Because I think we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
Carrying the burden of the relationship, and then how two people can be in the same relationship and see things totally different.
Yeah.
That was what my question is. So it really isn't like, now I don't feel bad because I'm like, okay, well, this is really happening to like people. Like, it's just like, okay, I'm in a relationship with somebody, but we really are not seeing things the same in this relationship. And then it's like, how do you not see things the same in the same relationship that you're in?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and people don't think that there are problems, or you don't think, or that, you know, somebody doesn't think that there's problems that you foresee. I just think that people, when I think about this is why it's so important to not just listen or hear people. You have to understand, because communication is not just for you to listen or hear. It's for you to understand, to listen for understanding, you know. And so when somebody is saying to you, listen, I'm not so happy in this relationship, and it's not necessarily that I'm looking for you to make me happy, but I do feel like that there is some sense of you making me happy within the relationship, not making me happy as an individual, but the relationship. There's things in a relationship that I think that both people should be working on to make the relationship happy. So therefore I can be happy in the relationship and not an individual situation, if that makes sense.
So are you saying working on within themselves or working on in the relationship?
I think that there are some things that you have to work on for yourself in order to make the relationship better.
Exactly.
You know, exactly. And it's not like if I came to you and was like, Will, you know, I just, you know, there's things going on, you know, we dating, I'm like, things are going on, and you're like, okay, well, yeah, whatever, you know, but you don't really take what I'm saying serious. And it's like you just go on. It's like, okay, like how long am I supposed to put up with that, and how long am I supposed to carry the burden of what I feel is not going the way that I think it should go in the relationship? And if you're not having a conversation with me about it, like it does become a burden, because it's like, then I feel like I have all this pressure of trying to make you understand what's going on or how I'm feeling about the relationship. Not that I'm asking you to make me happy, but I want to be happy in my relationship with you. And because I am in the relationship with you, I feel like you have some responsibility of making things, helping me make things better.
Right. Okay, so Michelle says it's better to break it off before marrying the wrong person. Alicia said, why would you accept a proposal without knowing if this is your person? And she also said people don't take the time to talk enough before marriage. I think that's absolutely true. One thing that Taraji said to me that really stuck out, that resonated with me, she said, dealing with past trauma in order to heal in your relationship. She said that all her relationships started to look alike. And it's because she wasn't dealing with that past trauma. So she brought all of that into the relationships. And I don't know if you remember last week, I was saying that, you know, one of the issues with me and Nate's relationship is because we were too much like this. We lost our individuality. And I felt myself fall into that same trap again, still bringing that same energy and connecting you into the same relationship. And I had to ask myself, I had to coach myself, why do you do this? And I had to realize basically I'm codependent. That's why, let's face it, with Will Strayhorn is the chat, because same thing we talk about. Am I good enough to do it by myself? I always feel like I need to be connected. I know this is out of the way, but this is my own therapy. So
the both of us, we both know that we can, because we have done it.
Yeah.
But sometimes, and I think that you have to know that you have the capability of doing it on your own.
I'm learning that. Learning that, and it's a process.
Right. But it's okay with you collaborating with somebody who sees you're saying, you know, like, you know, just like the conversation we had, and again, we'll reveal that at the end, you know, and what did I say to you? I just don't want to get lost.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I just don't want to get lost in it, because I feel like I'm finding myself, I don't want to just get lost in the mix. So that was, you know, but I think that, you know, those are the sorts of things that I'm learning because you are type A personality. And so it's like, if I don't kick it up a notch, I will get lost. And so it's like you it's like elevating somebody, and then it's like, okay, but I can stand on my own. I can still carry this on my own if push comes to shove. So it's not all a bad thing. And you know, you could do it by yourself. You know that.
Yeah, I'm just saying, and learning, trying to figure out why there's this I bring codependency, pretty much the traits of codependency in both of my past two relationships. Even though I know, and I set forward intentionally going into this relationship, we're going to be together, but we're going to also have our individual lives, because that's what a healthy balance looks like. Right. But I found myself falling into the same trap, and he's the same way. We both, I don't know if it's just because we both enjoy spending time together, or if there's something that I really need to examine deeper on a deeper level to figure out why they. I don't know if it's a subconscious level of control, but like yesterday, was it yesterday? Me and Paula went out for the whole day. We had fun, but in the back of my mind was, I know he gets off at 3:00, which he got off earlier, and I want to be home by the time he gets there. I couldn't even enjoy myself having an individual time apart from him because I was concerned that I was not going to be home by the time he got home from work.
Okay, but was that a concern for him?
I kind of think it was. And I brought that up to him later on last night because actually he got off. He was supposed to get off work at 3:00. Got off work at 1:00. So when I came home, because he was going to cook dinner. Yesterday was, I forgot the name of the day. Justin, if you're watching, please put the name of the day, which is some new day for LGBT couples because they say Valentine's Day is not for us. So yesterday was National, I want to say it's something day. So Saturday was that day, but we both worked. So we were going to celebrate our Sunday. So I wanted to be home. So I wasn't really present with Paula because we had so much we wanted to do. I was trying to do everything kind of quickly. We still didn't get to finish what we were going to do because I wanted to get home. But I got home like 45 minutes after 3:00.
Oh, sweet.
He got home at 1:00, and then sweetest day. Sweet. How does Kim know that? Sweetest day, but yeah, just to say. So our date is sweetest day, which is I think October 17th.
Okay.
And when I tried to hug him, he was very not interested. Oh. So I realized, okay, because I wasn't here when he got home. That was probably what the issue was. And he later got over it. But, it's just, I don't know. That's something that we both have to work on to be free. And I want the same thing for him to have friends is, be like, I'm going out with my friends, right. Y and Z, so that there's an excitement when we get together. We haven't seen each other in a while and can enjoy each other. But I just don't feel like we're to that point yet where
I think that's again,
we have those separate lives.
Right. But I think, again, as you said to me, that's a conversation because I've learned now, being married for 25 years, I learned now, like, not too many years ago, Walter would be like, wait, you're always at work and I can't, I want to do stuff. And I was like, okay, but you have to tell me early. Like you have to tell me on Monday, cause I'm not, I'm people are calling. Like I don't have a schedule. People can go and make their, put their day in there. They're calling me. So I'm just kind of scheduling people as we go. So if you want to go somewhere on Saturday, at a certain time, you have to tell me on Monday so I can already just block that out and know in my mind. But you can't wait until Saturday and like, oh, I was thinking of going to the movies Saturday night because I've already kind of, created my day or whatever. So it's like, even with you not knowing that he was going to get off at that time or whatever, I mean, I don't feel like you should have been upset, but I like you were there. But you were there at the time of which, just a little bit after the time that you thought he was supposed to get off. Because did he contact you when he got off?
No, I did not know that he got off early.
I think that was a conversation that was like, hey, babe, I'm going to be getting off early. Are you still hanging out? Or do you think you'll be home at that time? Because, that's just that. And I've just learned that with me, like, I just have to be like, hey, I'm going to hang. Is it something that you want to do? Because if not, like, I don't necessarily confirm plans with my friends until I'm like, is it something that you want to do? And then once he says no, then I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to go and hang out with, such and such, or we're going to do such and such or whatever the case might be. But I'm just learning to ask him first. Because, he would always be hitting me with I wanted to do when I say I'm going to hang out with my friends. Oh, I was thinking of do such, and I'm like, okay. Yes. Okay. So
exactly. Boundaries and respect of time. Expectations without conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, y'all get it together. It's fine. It's only a year. Things are gonna come, and y'all gonna understand each other a lot more as time progresses. So no worries.
Amy says, I guess I'll continue to answer to myself. Being in a relationship, marriage is too much work. It's a lot of work. It's a lot.
Definitely.
It's a lot of work. But it's a lot of joy too into it. Yeah.
Yeah, when you have, when you add children into it and then you see their faces and, they bring you.
My spouse is we both want children. I believe my new understanding is that everything's going to happen in its own timing. I've seen that. And I've seen when I wanted something really bad and was mad when God didn't give it to me. And then down the road, something comes up and I see exactly why it didn't happen. And I'm thankful for it. And I've even shared with him, if we have gotten a child when we were really wanting and praying for it, things that have happened since then, we would be in a mess by now. Right. So God knows we want a child. We're doing everything that we can to make ourselves prepared for it. So I think it's going to happen when it's going to happen. That's with my career, everything. Everything's going to happen in its own divine timing. Right. Kim said a lot of strenuous. Right. Trust me, my sister knows. Yes. Justin says he the same way. If I pick up at work and don't tell him beforehand, yeah, that's right. And that's that communication. Right. 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 Okay, so I think we have time for one more question. This is a kind of ratchet one, but ratchet. Yeah. Another picture. Let me take this off. Uh-oh.
What in the world? Make sure you all are continue to share, like and share. Do you want me to read this?
Yeah, read that.
Okay, Monique is a serial cheater on Ty. She then had a baby from another man, but chose to abort 2 of Ty's kids. Stacy is Monique's best friend since high school. It's been 10 years since Monique and Ty broke up. Is Stacy allowed to shoot her shot?
So my whole question is it ever okay to date your, I don't know if you want to say best friend or friends, whatever, ex? And I hear you already saying no. Okay, so listen to this on my sheet of paper. So listen, you dated someone for years, then you mutually agreed to break up. You had a friends with benefit situationship that kind of just faded out. You talked to someone for a few months, but never officially dated them. Now your good friend wants to start dating your ex. How do you feel? Is it ever acceptable to date your friend's ex? What do y'all think about that?
If he is legitimately an ex, like legitimately an ex, and me and you are still friends, like absolutely not. First of all, why would you even want to be with somebody that that your friend was with? Why would like, no.
So you're saying no? Justin's saying hell no. Okay.
When I think about my friends and some of their like, I wouldn't even want to date anybody. Like if I was single, like I wouldn't even no.
Okay, Kim says it's a cardinal rule. Michelle said too messy for me, but it may work for others. And Justin says still hell no.
It's going to
why? It depends on the intensity of the relationship. Like if y'all were madly in love, and like hypothetically, if it was my friend and they were together for 15 years, or they were in a deep relationship, then no, that's kind of off limits for me. But I think I've told you before, Nate was dating my good friend, and we were together 16 years after that, and he was upset for a couple weeks, but I would have never done that if I thought it was something serious. That was pretty much just a jump off.
Okay, so you didn't think it was something serious, but how do you not know that your friend wasn't serious about it?
Because I know my friend, and he already told me about the person that he met. I came over and met him, but he already told me, and it wasn't like it was an exclusive thing for him, for my friend.
Okay. So, Alicia says, can all the parties be matured? Why do we keep others from having life experiences to grow them? She also says, and then he got over it.
And then he got over it. And we had dinner, had brunch last Sunday. Yeah.
You know what? You know what? I just wouldn't.
Oh my God, Justin. Would you date your brother's boyfriend?
Would you?
And has. Ex.
Wait, what? You have?
Yeah.
You have dated one of your brother's ex-boyfriends?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have an announcement to make.
Wait a minute. What's the announcement? Okay, is it the same announcement? Are you kicking me off the board? Wait a minute. Okay, yeah. I don't know what happened to my camera. I'm so upset.
I need to see your face.
And this is a different I'm using Justin's computer. And it's doing the same thing. So I don't know. This is ticking me off.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I don't know what's going on. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and go to the announcement.
Yeah, okay, first of all, I would never want to date anybody my sister to me. Oh no. Justin said he need answers.
Before you, sweetie. It's before you. It's before you.
I am not dating nobody my sister have been with, none of my cousins have been with, none of my best friends.
So what is the thing? What is it? Is it because the visual, or are we talking about morality? What is the issue?
No, I just don't want to. Like, I just think that's odd. I just think that's odd. I think it's odd before the moral part of it. Odd and morals is kind of like right there together. Mm-hmm. I just wouldn't like.
Girl, there's a code. Quinn said there's a code. Okay, it must be. Justin, let's not talk about that.
It's just odd. Like, even for my sister, like, even to date somebody, my sister, like, and my sister is crazy. Like, she would be like, "What the hell?" Like, my sister, nah. I ain't even trying to deal with her. Like, I'm not even trying to deal. And I just feel like I would rather no. I want to keep talking to my sister versus dating somebody, and whether she would get over it or not. I just feel like deep down inside she wouldn't. And
so if two people realize that they're not good for one another, and you vibe with somebody, and it's a possibility that you could find happiness with that person, you wouldn't do it because it didn't work out between those other two?
I don't think I would. I would not want to. I don't. And then I feel like I would already know a lot about oh my gosh, no. Like, that's just too much.
Okay, well, let's just get back to the original question. The friend person.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, if she's my true friend, like, we've been ride or die for a long time, I probably know this person, and I probably know things about him, and I just wouldn't no. But again, not. But people do it. People do it, and a lot of times people do it because your girlfriend had told you about him. Oh, girl, he this. Girl, oh yeah, he do this.
No.
You said no?
No. I mean, that could be a part of it, but I mean, I'm speaking from my personal experience. That had nothing to do with it.
Okay, yeah, that had nothing to do with it from that perspective of it. But I know chicks is like, because they heard about what this person, and then they, that's what they do. It's like, okay, I'm going, okay, yeah. And but I've never made it my business to ever talk about anything about my husband. That's why I'm like, people probably think I don't even have a husband because they don't never see him.
That's a good question that Michelle has for you, Shanika.
Oh, if your friend gave you the green light, would it be okay? No. No.
Oh, all right.
No,
And Alicia said,
I don't know. I just don't. I mean, like, because what kind of friend? Like, I'm not really your like. If I'm going to date somebody that you date, I'm not your friend anymore.
"Oh wow." So Alicia said, "So me and Alicia run the same wave track. So you would keep your friend from the love of their life because you're in your feelings and have attachments. That's not fair." I agree with her. I still say no, Michelle. That's what Kim says, and Justin says
I don't
no.
think it's no. Like, if you for me, I am not personally for me. I am not going to date anybody that my friend or my sister has been with. Now, if my friend, no matter, because I feel like people are going to ultimately do whatever the hell they want to do. I would probably be like, I'm not with it. But if that's what you if that's what you want to do, that's on you. And if they end up getting together, that's on them. I can't tell you that our friendship may still be the same, because depending on the relationship that I had with this person, it would just be awkward to me. Like, I just feel like it would be awkward. And then, even for her, like, is she thinking that if we all in the same room that he might be trying to talk to me or I'm trying to talk to him? Like, it's just too much. That's too much. To me, that's just, it would,
I'm back.
yes, it would make me not trust my friend. Yeah, I just feel like it's a lot with it. It's a lot of variables with that. Like, I'm just, you a messed up friend and you have no respect for me or my friendship. Just for me, I just wouldn't.
Well, let's back up.
Okay.
Quinn said it would make me not trust my friend. Okay. Were you looking at my boo, while we were friends and blah blah blah? I can get that. Kim says it sounds like betrayal. I can see how someone can think that. Justin says you're a messed up friend. You have no respect for me or our friendship. Respect for you how? If you don't want that person no more, if it's over, you hopefully you moved on. What is the issue?
Right. I think it would be just more awkward. Like, if me and this person were to get together like that, and maybe I may have shared some things with you about this, but although I don't make it a habit to do stuff like that, to share some things with you about this person, and then we're all in the same room together. Like, I would just be like, oh my God, like, this is just too awkward. I can't do it. Like, I just can't do it. And, but if that's the type of person that I don't want to say the type of person, but yeah.
Yeah, because that sounded like judgment. That sounded like judgment. That was great.
You tell it, I'm always judging. If that's what you are, you're okay with it. If you're okay with it, you sleep good at night being with this person and they, whatever, that's on you. Mm-hmm. And I just don't know. I don't know how our relationship would be. Like, because I'm not going to be like, well, how you and your boy doing? Like, I don't want to ask that. I don't want to ask, like, hey, how are you? Like, no, I don't. Like, that's just odd. And then, like, I don't know. It's just too many variables in that for me.
Okay. All right. Well, thank y'all for the conversation. That was good. I love the interaction. That is great. Yeah. So we're going to talk about our announcement. We have, like you said earlier in the show, we have, what, 2 more?
Yes.
Is it 2 more? 2 more shows. And then we're going to take a little break and come back with season 3. But we have a little announcement. Let me get Justin's comment all quickly. Okay. Oh man, you can't see it because of the number, but season 3. So we're auditioning for a third co-host. We're looking to bring somebody else to the table. We're going to be bringing more information next week, and then definitely the week after that. And then we're going to do auditions over the break and come back season 3 with a third person at the table.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about it? I know you were talking about earlier. You said at first I brought up the idea. What do you think it's going to do for the show? I'll go first. I think it's going to bring a different perspective. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a very opinionated person who has a different perspective. I'm open to, like, I love the exchange of perspectives that we have on the show, different ideas. So I think another person, somebody who's totally different from both,
right,
would be great.
I know the type of person that I'm looking for. I thought about it, and I'm trying to really take the time to when I'm addressed or addressed with questions like that, or just questions in general. I really do like taking my time and really thinking about myself, how I feel, and what it is, what the outcome will be. Instead of just making an impulsive decision, because I think that I've done that in the past, and I haven't always been happy with it. It's just like, okay, whatever you want to do, it's fine with me. And I'm just really trying to take the time to really process things. Like, okay, no, like, are you really okay with it? And then voice your opinions, and you can still be okay with it, and you can still voice your concerns and your opinions. And it will still be okay. So I just wanted to make sure that I took my time to really process it, and get my thoughts out about how I felt about it. But I think that overall, I think it'll be good. I know in my mind the type of person that I would be looking for to fill that co-host position. But I mean, I am excited. I'm excited to see, how far we could go, what would come out of it, and what that third person will bring to the show. So,
right.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about it. So we're gonna you and I are going to have a meet so that we can lay out the logistics of it so that we can present that on next week. And then over the break, we will do whatever type of auditions we come up with, being that it's COVID.
Yeah.
And then come back strong with a whole new everything. For season 3, I'm excited. But thank everybody for tuning in. And
but make sure if you know anybody that may be interested in this, make sure that you have them come on and like the chat, because everything will be posted in the chat under the chat page. And they can either reach out to me via email, or actually the chat, so they can actually
Stephanie will probably get it.
Yes. So just they can email the chat. And why did I just totally forget? Okay, hold on, I'm gonna tell you.
Well, the email.
Yes.
The chatcw@gmail.com.
Okay, the chatcw@gmail.com. So let me put it up there. I can actually the chat
CW. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate you tuning in and joining the conversation. It's so much more fun and interesting when everybody participates in the conversation.
All right. So there is. That's the that's the email. So if you know anyone,
or if you yourself,
are interested in auditioning for that third seat at the table, just email us and let us know, and then pass this information on. Thank you so much, Kim, to anyone that you may know that may be interested. And then we will start putting out information. But everybody, you want to make sure everybody tunes in, keep watching the information, because you will actually have the opportunity to participate in
vote.
Yes.
To vote.
Yes. So
exactly. But the only thing I have to say is, when you come on the show, remember our whole motto is it's unfiltered, unscripted, uncut. So we talk about any and everything.
Yes.
So just be willing to have an open mind and an open perspective. I know I'm the dog of the day, and I know I have to go in the kitchen now and listen to why I did X, Y, and Z with my brother's ex. But hey, that's my perspective. We respect each other's opinion. I know I'm a little out there, but then I would just sit there. I was like, well, that's not the only person. Oh, maybe I need to go to therapy. I may need to go to therapy. But hey, I'm willing to do that. Yeah. All right. So look at me shaking his head. All right. Everybody, we'll see you next week. I'm gonna go ahead.
Y'all have a great rest of the week. We love y'all, and we will see you next week.
Y'all. In love with all y'all. All right.
Bye. Have a great week.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye.